to the greatest of the greatest. A podcast that you never knew you needed. With interviews from people you have never met, or maybe you have once or twice. Asking questions and knowing more than you want to know about them. You are listening to Full Buddy Cast.
We are flying blind today, but I got a special edition. First off, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Full Buddy Cast. Now, this is a special episode. And I should probably do the sponsors first. Let me do the sponsors. Let me tease the guest, even though he's tagged in it, even though you've heard his name, even though you've seen, he's probably shared it. That's why you're here. But we're going to tease you guys a little bit on who this is. Who knows who it is?
Nobody
I don't
knows.
know.
Nobody.
That voice right there, you don't know that voice. Maybe I'm here by myself.
It could be a celebrity, a musical guest.
It is a celebrity in my book. But anyway, brought to you by Cole Street Brewery, 1627 Cole Street. Wear your shirt, tag yourself in, get 15% off your drinks. Bordeaux Wine Bar, go in there and do the same thing, tag yourself and all that. Get $2 off your first drink. And then also go down to Mazatlan, say hi to Andy, mention Full Buddy Cast, and this is an Enumclaw, and you will get yourself a nice little deal. So thank you so much for joining us. I got a super exciting guest. This guy, well, first off, let's just say who it is. Who is this?
My name is Ira Potter, and I am Enumclaw royalty.
Yeah, good
Not
one.
really. I actually didn't even go to high school here or anything. I moved here after the fact.
We got a lot of spoilers coming. I like that. The little tease, little tease to it. So let's talk real quick. This is how I met Ira. Okay. Well, this is how I heard about Ira.
How did you hear about me?
So you or somebody you know, I don't know if it was you specifically, but I created the Enumclaw discussion board, and then people started jumping on that and posting and this and that. And at that point, there was another podcast, and I don't know if it's still going or if it's kind of like not going on, but
It's not, sadly.
it was called Why Pod.
Yep.
And I listened to it, and I liked the other guys. The other guys fed off you well, and you fed off of them, but you could tell that they were trying to steer towards a direction each episode, towards something. But you would just, you know what, guys, listen, I got too many inner voices in my head right now, so let me just get this out of my head first, and I can help you get there. But right now, I need to talk about my stuff that's going on in my life.
Yeah.
And then you would just share from the heart, and you were so authentic that it was almost like, it really drew me in. I listened, and don't tell the other guys. And I like the other guys. I don't know the other guys,
They're busters. You can say it.
Okay, they're busters. Yeah. I don't know. We were still using that term, but I like that. But I heard you, and I'm like, man, you're going through girl trouble, or you were going through talking about being a parent, or there was just so many different things you were just completely open about. And I'm assuming that you're semi-open now, or have you decided to kind of rein it in?
Oh no, I'm still a complete train wreck.
Okay, good.
It is kind of funny. I don't know why I've kind of always been like that. I've been like the oversharer. You know, like I know people who are very they keep things tight to the chest or whatever you want to. And I was always like, oh, how do you even do that? Like,
right.
I just like, say
me too.
Whatever.
But I think that's what draws people to you, and then probably
Hopefully,
to me is people like that.
Not very mysterious, that's for sure.
No, it's almost like hi, I'm Ira Potter. Welcome to Jackass, and you're and then you go do an insane stunt.
Let's go to the muck in the mire.
So it's like hi, I'm Ira Potter, or hi, I'm Travis Kenny. Welcome to Jackass, and here's my crazy story I'm about to tell you, or here's something that I can bring you along. And I think it's fun. And you are, and me, I would say me too. It's almost like a verbal stunt show where people are like, it's like a daredevil thing. You've done things that not many people will do.
Sure.
You've done things that people can relate with. You've done things that and have these great stories. And again, I know like 0.00001% of you and your life. All I know, you could be a serial killer, but I would probably sit around that campfire and be the next person to be murdered, but just be enthralled with the story that you're telling me. And that's probably how you lure people. And,
Yeah.
And then kill them.
I'm I'd like to think if I'm interesting at all, it's because I have massive issues. It's because of my trauma. I think that your trauma makes you, it makes you cool. It makes you interesting. So I just embrace it and I go with it, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So
yeah.
And
I don't want you to become like, so if I put pressure on you and you're like, listen, like, I don't.
Hey man,
can I just chill? This is where I come to chill. I don't need you to be a character. I just need you to be Ira. But the other thing that I really like about you is that when we had our first live at Cole Street, well, this year we had our first live at Cole Street. You came down. It just happened to work out. We're like, hey, I'm on my way. I'm excited. And you sat there. Did you know you were going to get pulled up?
No. I had no idea.
And you had a rough day that day.
Oh my God.
And
I had a rough week.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to hopefully meet some cool people and talk to them, and everyone kind of interacted afterwards. But you got up there and you're like, I'm like, Ira, come on up. In fact, you became a $5 Patreon right then and there. You grabbed the mic and you said, like, just start telling us about your day. And your day, I think you'd gone through. Are you okay with me?
Breakup.
Yeah. Actually, guys, you can go back there and listen to it, and it was funny. He had the crowd eating out of his hand because he was like, "We went through a breakup. I got a mask on. I got my sunglasses on. I'm walking around my hard hat, just tears streaming, and it's just like you painted the perfect picture, and I was dying. I felt like as I'm watching this, it's incredible. You're just a storyteller. So I'm excited.
I was truly heartbroken, and
we got you at your word.
Yeah, and I gave all the gory details. I mean, it was, it was one of those things where it was so profoundly intense. It was like I was almost grateful for the experience. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't know. It's like sometimes even with stuff that's really painful, you're like, well, I mean, this is really something,
right?
I don't know. I mean,
there's a lesson here somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'll let me Werther's original it. Just pop it in the mouth and suck on it for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I absolutely to myself said like, well, this is like you're living your life. I mean, this is it's like a surreal experience, and just freaking take it in, and we'll see what happens. See what tomorrow's like.
Well, that's exciting. I know. And then here's the other thing. Okay, I put you out on the airwaves. I feel like this guy sniped you from me, and I was okay with it.
What guy is this?
But he knew you prior to this. So so when I found out later, and I can't reference it, as actually when I mentioned on a live I said, hey, I've got Ira Potter coming in. I can't wait to have him on. I got a message from Bobby Martinez, who said, I'm so happy that Ira has found a home with you. I hope that this sticks. And so then I had asked,
oh wow, he's marrying us.
Yeah, exactly. And I go, yeah. So what I mean, can I reference the other videos? And he kind of changed his page to where now his page is a little bit more of a how to. It's a video audio. It's like where people kind of go to he kind of caters to that and his photography as well.
Bobby's a mile a minute all the time.
He is, man.
Go.
He is. But your episodes aren't there anymore. So I don't know if you knew that. So
Son of a bitch.
I'm breaking that to you right now. But,
thanks, Bobby.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, carved out the time. Now here's the little difference between him and me. I don't have the videos set up. It's just all audio.
Okay? I got dressed up for nothing.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
This tuxedo that you're wearing. I thought you just came back from the Met Gala.
I wanted everyone to know that yes, I'm a rugged man, and I have use. I have
we'll take a picture.
Utility, but I can also tie a bow tie.
We can show it. Yeah, we can show it. The thing, you're also wearing that like Kanye mask. That I don't know if you guys know this, but he's got a full on. It's not just a mask, but he's got like the hoodie. He's got the holes he's seen out. He's really embraced the Kanye look. He's got the Yeezys on. He's looking good, guys.
How expensive was that?
Just the whole outfit.
Sounds like a $20,000 outfit.
Just sounds amazing. All right, well, let's get deep inside you, Ira.
Okay.
And I don't know what What? Oh, hey, I'm already there. I don't know what to call this episode. One of the reasons Ira bought the package, guys, it's a $50. Now, can we talk? I thought you skirted me on that and I called you out on it.
Oh yeah,
and so
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I thought maybe my card just got declined. Honestly, that's probably what it was.
What was it?
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Okay, all right.
I think
because there was. I'm like, ooh, wow. Oh, Ira edited his. Jamie, check this out. Ira edited his $5 to $50 a month, and so then I'm like greedily rubbing my hands back and forth, and it charges on the first of the month. So, and I saw this get edited like middle of the month, and I'm thinking, all right, okay, this is my first $50 tier person. He's beat Desi. Desi's been 35 this entire time, and now here comes Ira, and I'm shouting you out left and right every episode. I'm like, Ira's at the 50, guys. Ira's at the 50. Just waiting for the first. First hits. And it's like $50 less than what I was expecting. And I look and I'm like, Ira deleted his pledge. Like he did it all on the 30th, he's just like out. Just pulls the ripcord, he's out.
Pretty slick, huh?
And so then I thought I had to verbally shame him publicly. And I did, and then he's back. But but you bought the package where you get some episodes.
I did, and then I screenshot that shit and I sent it to you.
Yeah, you did. You did. You were right.
I am still the man.
You are still the man. You're back. It cleared this month. Who knows about next month?
My checks don't always clear, Travis. I don't know if you know that.
Well, I saw that thing you posted today about that where you're like, you lose a race and you're like, I'm not spending any more money. Lose a race. This is your next big purchase. But we're going to get to the racing here in a second, okay? I'm super stoked on your kids right now. I love that you share. We're going to get there in a second, though. All right, so that's kind of my background with Ira, but now we're going to get deep with Ira. So I don't know what we're going to call this episode. I thought like something like half Ira episode, where it's a half hour of Ira.
Yeah, you got to come up with a gimmicky slogan, or it wouldn't be Full Buddy Cast. You got to come up.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking Full Pottercast. I was thinking. I don't know. I'm still thinking on it. Let me just say I'm chewing on it, and it might come to me while we're talking. We might get it right. That's usually how that goes. So. A little bit, we're going to do a little rapid fire. You've heard this before. We're going to warm you up, even though I've been talking the majority of the time. We're going to warm you up. I'm gonna hit you with rapid fire questions. You're gonna give me rapid fire answers. Okay.
Ready.
All right. Your first name.
Ira.
Good. See, so far so good. Age.
39.
When did you graduate?
2001.
Where did you graduate?
Puyallup High School.
Do you consider yourself a millennial?
No.
Do you consider other people? Well, are you offended by that first?
Yes.
Okay, so then you are a millennial because you're offended by it. So there you go.
Damn it.
Okay, I gotcha. All right. Right now, what's your Pandora or your Spotify playlist music that you're listening to right now?
Drake's new album.
Did you like Donda? Did you listen to Donda?
No.
Then you're out. Leave.
One of my good friends said it was awful.
Oh man, you got to listen.
And I took his word for it, but yeah, I should.
Okay, I like Kanye more than Drake, but I listen to Drake. Okay, moving on. Graduated Puyallup. Who was your first friend on the recess? That you met in recess, like kindergarten, first grade.
First friend in recess.
And what'd you guys play?
We played. Man, we probably played football. That was kind of my thing.
Were you fast? You feel like a fast guy.
His name was Chad. You know what's funny is I look like I
dangerously fast.
It's like it's really disappointing. I look like I should be fast. Like people are like, "Dang man, he's probably fast as hell. He probably jump." No,
nothing.
Neither one.
Are you athletic?
I get by, but I'm never the fastest guy. I was never, I think I just kind of got by on sheer will. But
just okay.
Are
you competitive?
I played football and very, very, very. Yeah.
So right now, because I'm competitive too, have you taken any like Myers-Briggs or Strength Finders?
I would, if it came down to you and me, if I could kill you or not. Right now, that's going through my head.
Okay, so that's a little Bobby-ish, and that makes But for me, like if let me ask you this: you and I are playing. a board game or card game, what's your choice? Like, what do you like? Card games?
I like
board
playing
games?
cards for sure.
What game are you playing with me right now? Like, if you were to play,
I like playing 3-card. I like playing
poker.
Yeah.
Are you playing?
No, 3-card is a different. It's
completely different. Okay.
Yep.
Cribbage or rummy,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're playing right now, and I'm destroying you.
Yeah.
I'm just absolutely kicking your ass in it. And are you A, B, or C? A, enjoying your time. This is fun. Hanging out, having some laughs. You're losing. Okay. B, thinking, I don't know how this is going to happen, but this thing needs to turn around right now. I got to beat this guy. Or C, you're thinking, it's too late now. I'm going to lose. I'm going to flip this card table over, and we're playing 52 card pickup.
Well, since that's what I immediately went to my head, I'm going to go with 3. No, I'm actually, the vast majority of the time, I'm actually pretty, like, I think I'm a gracious loser, but it really depends on what, like when it comes to like my real deal, like sports I played back in high school or college or whatever. I would take that shit really seriously.
And it was like the thing when someone told you, like, listen, and you adopted it, 'cause this is with me. I remember being friends with people, and then my coach saying, listen, they may be your friends before the game and after the game, but currently they're the enemy, and you need to be them.
If you had friends on the other team?
Yeah, and so in your mind, you're like, hey, that's true. And like, because they were friends, you really wanted, you were like, I want to just make sure I can just gloat about this until, for like next time we play.
Tear his ACL and be like, you look stupid. Look at that stupid ass cast.
Clowned you.
Idiot.
Made a t-shirt with me dunking on you.
Exactly.
What sports did you play in high school? Did you play sports in high school, or was it more junior high and then you kind of like bailed?
I didn't play really in junior high that much, honestly. I played in high school. I played football, wrestling, and track.
Wow. So football, that's fall. Wrestling's winter. Track is the spring. Yep. So did you have to choose? Were you like baseball but track?
I started off playing Little League a little bit, but track was just so easygoing and fun. That was like the one sport out of the 3 that was just like, it's pretty much like it's basically co-ed, because the girls in the game, you're all just kind of together
hanging out,
it's just really lax. And so it was a pretty easy decision. Like we always, for some, like me and my brother, I was actually pretty decent at like long distance, and so that's kind of what they had me doing at first. But I felt like I had a talent for that, and so it was a pretty easy decision to cut baseball out.
Yeah.
It was like, the kids, once you get to 8th, 9th grade, it's a clear, like, man, if whether you're going to make it or not, kids are like really starting to get good. And I was like, I wasn't quite there. So I'm like, wow, this is an easy decision. So
in track, what were the like events that you did? So
I started off doing the 3200, but, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I wanted to be a sprinter because I wanted to get faster for football. And
so you're pushing yourself to...
Yeah, okay. Everything was about football. It was like I wrestled to get stronger and better for football. And then, and so I was like, I'm going to do sprints, But like I said, I was super skinny. I was like a natural at long distance. And I didn't want to, though. Like, obviously,
right.
Running long distance sucks. Yeah. So I'm like, no. And my coach is... he keeps bothering me about like, you got to run the 32 or you got to, and I'm like, I don't want to, come on. And then one day, we needed the points or something like that. And he's like, you're going to run the 32 today. And I'm like, okay. So I run it and I ended up winning,
Did
like
that
an idiot. Like I should have sandbagged, like, what are you thinking? So then he's like, hey, talk about backfire, So
that's
then
true.
He's like, you're a distance runner now, and I'm
but
like,
you could never let yourself not win, right?
Right. So there you go. There's the competitive.
There's the competitive nature. Yeah. And then what else what other events did you do?
So I did the 400.
Yeah.
Which is brutal. And then the 100, I actually did triple jump a little bit, which is really hard. When you see somebody like when you see these people do that in the NCAAs or in the Olympics, and they're triple jumping like 30 feet and shit.
Massive.
It's like
a single wide is what they're jumping.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Next time you're at the high school track, just go try to triple jump. You just run and you just go right foot, left foot, and land in the sand. It's hard to even make it to the damn sand pit when you get to be our age. It's like I just like, watch kids, this is how you triple jump. You know, I'm like doing, and it was absolutely embarrassing. I'm like, God, I have the mighty have fallen. So
that's too funny.
Yeah. So
well, as we're talking about, the competitive nature, and gosh, the hard part for me, this was where we'll talk about your kids a little bit, is when I had kids and they were learning something. Oh my gosh, whether it was like tic-tac-toe or whether it was anything. I'm talking like walking across the yard and they're running as fast as they can. I'm like, they're going to beat me at some point in their lives. I'm going to be an older, slower. Yeah. Right now, they're younger and slower. I got to get the wins in now. Yeah. and so, I'm thinking about a full on, like I'm not focused on this race. I'm focused on the lifetime stats at this point, right? So if I beat them in 30 races now, then they can beat me in 25 races later.
I still got
them all time. Yeah. So
absolutely,
it was tough. I would lose a couple just to kind of make them, give them that drive, throw the mouse a little bit of a cheddar, but mostly I would win. How about you?
Oh yeah, dominate. I would absolutely dominate. And because I wanted them to, when they finally did get that win,
just be like, F you, Dad.
Really mean, yeah. I wanted them to throw it in my face, dance in my face, run in the stand on the
just
Dallas
hot
Cowboys
rod
star like Tio. Absolutely. But and they really did in things like Mario Kart. That was a big one.
Yeah. Oh, video. Oh, yes.
Mario Kart was huge.
It still is. It still is.
That is an absolutely amazing. And so when my oldest kid finally beat me straight fair and square, she was super excited. I still have a video of when my youngest beat me. It's the cutest thing ever. She was like absolutely over the moon,
Yeah.
And because she earned it.
Yeah. So. And right now, they're in a hobby. They're doing a hobby,
mm-hmm.
And dude, well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself because I never got into sprint cars. I never got into NASCAR. I never got into the World of Outlaws until Casey Kane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, and it was like the first sport. Like, I remember, like, one day when I was, like, 13 watching the Daytona 500. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm watching this whole entire race. I don't care how boring it is. I got my snacks. It was like a bucket list thing as a teenager.
I can do this.
Yeah, I can do this. This is going to be 3.5 hours, but I'm going to sit here and watch this whole dang thing.
Yep.
Now, I knew like the rules of football. I knew the rules of basketball and baseball. I've watched that my entire life, done stupid things. Like, I remember my parents getting their first typewriter, and I would sit there and I would type out the game as if I was in the press pass, and I would actually type out the game. I'm watching the friggin' Mariners, and I'm like doing the play. Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I just love sports. Casey Kane goes into NASCAR. I know nothing about this.
Oh,
I know nothing about this.
Yep.
I thought they just turned left the entire. I didn't know that tire pressure. I didn't know centrifugal force. I didn't know drafting. I didn't know the lucky dog lap. I didn't know single file. I didn't know the whole thing. I didn't know anything. And so I'm learning at like in my 20s about this and just obsessed, fascinated, learning about it. Right.
Yep.
Did you grow up in a racing family?
No, I grew up, my dad was always a car nut. He just loved muscle cars because that was his, when he was in high school was the muscle car era. He had like a '68 GTO, and he had like a '69 Corvette and all that kind of thing. He was just in his heyday, and so I went to for us it was more drag racing. Like that was just kind of Dad liked hot rods, and so. And so we were
going
really
to SIR and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, when we first moved here from Alaska, like the fact that we could go and see all the guys that were on TV at SIR once a year for the Northwest Nationals was like, no way. I mean, it was like life-changing.
Yeah.
I mean, I could like saw John Force. He's right there. I can almost touch him, like John Force is like a legend,
Right.
So that's what we grew up involved in. We loved cars, we loved racing, but it wasn't NASCAR. I was just like you. If someone was like, what's crossweight or wedge or what is tape?
Right?
Yeah, I'd be like, what are you talking about? I didn't have any idea.
And I was probably actually more into as a kid watching, and you got to meet him or you got to at least see him. But the IndyCar racing, the open wheel with Mario Andretti, and all of that was more my. That would look the cars look cooler.
Yep. I mean, they're faster, they're lighter,
just
everything.
Sleek,
Yep.
And the wrecks were. I mean, you don't want to see anyone wreck. But they go flying in the friggin'. It's like a hydroplane. Even that I would watch probably hydroplanes more than I actually watched actual NASCAR back in the day. But okay, so you're used to the not the sprint cars. I think it's sprint. It's you like the. What is that? The quarter miles and the
drag racing.
Drag racing.
Yep.
Big long ones with the
top
tire
fuel.
Yes. Okay. So you'd go there.
Yeah.
And then how in the heck did you go from being a fan to next thing you know you're owning and running a team for your kids?
It was a lot. It was like most things in my life, like when I got into baseball. So, the first organized sport I ever did was baseball, and my brother basically signed us up. Like my brother's, so he's kind of like the leader. I was always like, I just like, what? Yeah, I mean, if you do it, I'll do it. I would do whatever it was. I'll jump off the damn bridge. But it was always his idea. Just like this. So he somehow discovered this kids racing stuff and it was just a ride day. It was just like, hey, put your kid in a car, see if they like it, blah, blah. And he's like, whoa, sweet, and he showed, and obviously, his kid absolutely loved it. And so next thing you know, he's buying a car and he's like, dude, you got to try this out. And my son, Emmett, is a total car freak too. Like Lightning McQueen and all that stuff. And he was absolutely, obsessed with it. So
was he before even the car stuff? Was he obsessed with racing? Would he want to run around everywhere and see how fast he could get from like point A to point B and
not necessarily? No, it was he enjoyed not so much the competition or the trying to get somewhere fast. It was just driving. It was like the act of just like he
doing it.
Yep. He got a Power Wheel. His first Power Wheel was a big deal.
Yeah.
And he would sit in that thing and like. He would put it in reverse and just kind of like lounge back with his arm hanging. I mean, he still has a binky in his mouth and a diaper.
But he understood left, right.
Yeah, he would just hold it all the way to the left and it would just go into circle and he would just kind of like just veg out and just like he's just kind of looking out into space.
Yeah.
He just liked the feeling or something, but and so when it came time to actually drive a car with a motor and stuff, he was stoked. I mean. And so here we are getting into circle track racing, and it was just, it was a totally new experience. I mean, we were like just at the mercy of everybody around us trying to like, ask for help. And luckily it's that kind of sport where everyone's more than willing to help you out.
Yeah.
In 90% of it. So
one of my good friends, Henry Van Dam, used to race like the 360s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When World of Outlaws would come out, he'd race with them, but he was, 33V. He'd be everywhere. Elma, Skagit, Lebanon. Yep. He'd be all over these areas. And, every weekend now he's gotten married and he sold everything. Right. So, it's just kind of like he's refocused, but man, I remember sitting in the stands and I'd brought some people, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I could probably do this. I'm pretty good at like video games, I'm like, I like race. I actually would buy like the pedals and the the steering wheels
on iRacing setup.
Yeah, before it was iRacing though.
Sure,
this is PlayStation 2.
Right.
And I would be like up against the big screen and just like pretending to change my view to where I'm just in the car only.
Yeah, you got to do that.
And then they come out. I remember saying this like, this, I played some some Tony Stewart, and so then they come out, and I'm like, okay, I can't do that. I can't do that.
I know.
And then they're like feet, inches off of each other going around. So I'm guessing you have zero experience in the racing aspect of it. Am I guessing that correct?
Yep.
So when you see your kids out there, inches and feet and reacting in just real time, do you get scared or nervous for them, or are you like, they've got it, like this is where they flourish?
Yeah, no, I'm like really easygoing. I don't really worry. I don't ever get really scared. I mean, but they're also very calculated. They're real careful. They're, I mean, there's like 20% of the kids out there are absolutely nuts, and they don't give a shit.
They'll knock you out of the way.
They freaking wreck. They do not care.
Right.
And it's hilarious. You're like, oh my God. It's like in Days of Thunder where he talks about the kamikaze driver versus the calculating driver. I mean, there's kids that are true kind of, you're like, oh my God, dude. And my kids are not that way. They're not. It's taken them a while, to get to the winner's circle, because they're just like, oh, I'm not going to crash I don't want to flip over and die, and I'm like, well, you're probably not going to die. And they're like,
well, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Your kids, say the ages real quick so we can understand this a little bit more.
Yeah, my oldest is 11. My middle child, my son, is 9, and then my youngest is 8.
Okay, so and who are all three racing, or just two of them?
Well, only the older two were at first, but now, of course, my youngest one's like, I want to drive now, and I'm like, oh my God, okay. So
that's how. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
it's another $1 million real quick. So, because when I signed some of my kids up for like soccer and basketball, there's points where they're absolutely like. My son wasn't until 5th grade until he got actually hit in the face by a soccer ball, and then he was no longer afraid of soccer balls. Before that, if some guy, he was the tallest guy out there, and he would run towards the ball, and if a little other kid ran up, this is 3rd grade, 4th grade, whatever, he would like, I'm going to get hit.
Yeah.
And then he got hit directly in the face, popped up, and then he went and then he played lights out.
Yep. That's exactly how it usually is in racing too.
So was it like they were timid, they get bumped hard, checked into a wall, turn, spin, whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm still alive. Now I have a little bit more of I'm not afraid anymore.
Yeah. And for them, it's like there was never like a big, like a big event like that. My oldest, my daughter, is just kind of getting more and more confident just little by little. My son, he's autistic, and so it's really bad for him because he's out there. Not only is he like he's scared to crash, but he's autistic, so that means he's like really, really anxious about crashing. So it's just like it's so much worse. To where you just have to be patient. You got to. But
he has a drive for it. Like he wants to do it, and so does he. Because
he just kind of does it at his own. Like he'll start off. He'll be in the number 2 spot. There's 8 cars, right? He's right up in the front, and after the first turn, green flag, first turn. We're talking seconds after they go green. He's in the back because he's like, "Nah, man, I'm good." He just gets out of the way because he watches it all the time, and he knows that's when everyone restarts. Even watching NASCAR,
gets
restarts
wrecks.
Harry.
Yeah.
So
cautions
like, nope,
breed cautions.
Not interested. So he just kind of goes on to, and then he waits for everyone to go by him, and then he's freaking pedal to the metal.
And then
and his lap times are just as fast as some of the fastest kids, but he's just hanging out back there.
And then will he well, at that point he starts picking them off one by one.
Yeah, he did when he was in the novice class. He just has to get used to it. He does things on his terms.
Yeah.
And there will be a day when the switch will flip and he'll just boom, he'll be fearless.
Yeah.
Because he went from not wanting to pass anyone, like totally freaked out, to like getting penalties, like being very aggressive. So it was like, dang, where the hell did this come from? But I mean, this is a kid who like he didn't learn how to ride a bike until he was like I think he was 7, maybe even 8, and he just basically said, "Let me have this bike," and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna ride a bike now. Okay, just help me. If I fall, just you got to catch me." And I'm like, "All right."
Right.
And I push him off, and he just rides the bike.
He just goes.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now we're coming to the end of this one because I want to get 2 in because we got to go to another thing.
Okay.
If you're cool with going to another thing for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then I know your time's limited. So, hey, real quick, let's shout out the Patreon since I got Ira here right now. I got to pull them all up because it's just becoming tedious. No, I'm just kidding. But I do like that we're picking more and more up as we go. And then I want you to think of your shout outs, okay? We always
have to shout out?
You shout out somebody,
okay.
Anything. It could be sentimental. It could be fun. It could be that someone just let you in while you were driving and someone just secured. Yeah, that blue Volvo was very nice to me today. Yep. But let me do mine real quick. So I'm going to shout out the Patreons: Kellen Hall, Holly Graff, Eric Madrid, Adam Kenny, my brother, Casey Scott, Seth Loop, Desi B, Cassie Spencer, Amanda Keating. I forgot her on one, and she has not let me, live that one down. So I'm got to make sure she hears that. Amanda Keating, Ira Potter, the man here with us, a person I've never met, Shekinah Sarver, Jared Skelly, Homer Robertson. What up, Homer? Shout out to Homer, always saying hi. Veronica Lara, Ben Illman, and the newest Travis Johnson. Thank you guys for supporting the podcast. And now I'm going to shift it over to Ira.
Okay, I have to shout out my buddy Mark, who I work with. I absolutely whooped his ass.
Yes.
In fantasy football this week.
Oh, yeah.
And to make matters worse, he's actually in the hospital currently with COVID. So it probably stings a little worse. Sorry, Mark. But I still beat your ass, all right?
Is he making a bounce back?
It's not looking. No, I think he'll be fine. He's on the way out, and
no, stop. Oh my gosh.
No, I'm pretty sure Mark's doing okay, but he got, every now and then
things happen.
They get people just get it bad.
Get it bad. Andy Cardenas got it from Mazatlan. He got it like last November. He was in the hospital for like 10 days, and he's back. He's good. He's living.
I got
life.
I'm pretty sure I got it twice. But it's hard to tell because I have such an amazing immune system.
Because you grew up on the streets in
Alaska. I take pride in that.
Yeah, you were drinking probably friggin' crick water and getting salmonella every other day and fighting through that.
Stepped on by moose and shit like that.
Yeah, I lived in Selleck. You don't probably know where Selleck's at. I'll bring you out there someday. That's where I grew up.
I do know where that is.
It was legit crick water. And my immune system,
beaver fever,
shoot me in the face with a gun.
Let's do
I'll
it.
probably die. But cough in me or cough on me,
be all right.
I'll be all right. I'm just T1000. Just go right back.
Just melting in the change form.
Ira, I appreciate it. We're gonna get another one out with you right when we're gonna recut another one. You guys, thank you so much for listening. Have a great week. Ira, you're the man. Take care, everyone.
A podcast that you never knew you needed. With interviews from people you have never met, or maybe you have once or twice. Asking questions and knowing more than you want to know about them. You are listening to Full Buddy Cast.